Hey everyone, I wanted to share some more knowledge and empower you to be able to get better testimonials from your clients and those that have worked with you. It's such a common problem I see that either the testimonial isn't very good or worse, we just don't capture it at all. And when people are looking to invest with you and they need that confidence, if they can see someone who's very similar to themselves with similar types of goals and obviously great results, it's worth a thousand words. I mean, what is it? A picture, it's worth more than a thousand words. Well, absolutely. And that's what we need to do when you're getting these testimonials. Now, there's a few key things here. Most people will not give you one. How many people have you asked, hey, would you write me a testimonial? And they go, oh, yeah, sure, Rick. Yeah, no problems. And then they don't do it, right? Because they get stuck. They start writing it and then they start overthinking it and then they're not sure. And then, oh, suddenly I've got to pick up the kids and, it's gone. So, one of the key things that you can do, one, be really clear on what you want from your testimonial before you start asking for it. So, what I mean by that is we need meaningful specifics. We don't want, oh, John's just an amazing trainer and he's helped me so much. I'd recommend him to anyone. That's really quite worthless, right? What we need instead is, hey, Jenny is so caring. She's so supportive. I've lost 10.7 kilograms in the last 6 months working with Jenny, and I never felt stressed or I never got injured. I was just full of confidence and energy the whole time. I've dropped 3 dress sizes. I'm making this up, obviously, but that's the sort of specificity we need. Now, whether it's written, or whether it's audio or ideally video would be video is the piece de resistance, if you like, of testimonials. But what again we come back to is that Jenny in that example is probably not going to remember all of those things. So how do we overcome this client and instructor or coach or business owner barrier? Well, it's really simple. You write it for them. Okay, you don't say anything which they wouldn't say. Maybe you've just done a recent assessment with Jenny and she's lost 10.7 kilograms. She's dropped 3 dress sizes or pant size, whatever. And you just put that into words and say, Jenny, hey, is this what I've heard you say? And is this okay if I use this as a testimonial? Or maybe I can get a photo of you as well. That's going to be much, much easier. Okay, you write it for her and literally word for word of really what I said there, and that's it. You take a photo and then you're good. You're in control of capturing a testimonial. You get the meaningful specifics you need, and Jenny's not stressed about it or trying to think of how to write it or what to say or any of those sorts of things. Now, when is the best time to get a testimonial? Well, it's either at the end of a session when someone's endorphins are rushing through their veins and they're feeling fantastic and pumped. Or it could be the end of an assessment where they've got a particularly good result. The end of a long week and they're stressed out at work and the kids are driving them crazy. Yeah, that's maybe not the best time to get one. So time it where they're going to be in a really positive frame of mind, even though you're doing most of the work for them. How do you get a video testimonial? I hear you ask, as so many of my clients do, because what happens? Oh, I don't want to be in a video, and then we lose that opportunity, right? Well, the easiest way to do it is using your magical handheld device here. Don't set up a full camera setup and be, like an interrogation because people freeze. And again, then the testimonial comes across as being really stilted and not genuine and those sorts of things. So you can prep Jenny and say, Jenny, would you be happy to say this? And you can add anything else you like, Jenny, okay? And then great. And then you can start it by setting the camera up and you can hold it. You can either just hold it here or have it off to the right here or whatever else, because you want to be engaging with Jenny. You want Jenny to be looking at you, telling you the story, not looking at the camera because she's going to freeze and it won't come across genuinely. So just casually hold the camera down here. Look, this doesn't have to be a Spielberg production. You're just capturing someone's genuine reaction to how they're feeling and the results they've got. So grab your camera, set it up. If you've got a little camera device, you can set it up to the side if you want. That's no problems. But we want to capture Jenny's testimonial in video because that's even more powerful. Now, The last thing is, and sorry, by the way, you said, Jenny, why don't you say you've lost the 10.7 kilos, that you've dropped the three dress sizes, then how do you feel? You can be asking and prompting Jenny as you go through the testimonial to get those emotive responses. And this isn't leading the witness, this is all the things she's already said to you. Okay, but she may forget. Most people actually don't. When the camera's not in front of them, it's off to the side. They know you and like you and trust you, and they'll give you really genuine feedback. Now, what do we need to do then when you're putting your testimonial up onto your website or into social media or whatever else? And this is a really big one because I see this so many times with people that they've got it's great testimonial from Jenny, or not in a lot of cases, but it's a testimonial and it says, this is Jenny and this is what she's done. And that's it. It's first name, Jenny. Well, who's Jenny? Is Jenny even a real person, especially when it's written? So I'll use my own website as an example for you here. Now, obviously, I'm business to business, so I don't need the specificity of a Jenny as a client. But to give you an example, here's an old client of mine, Laurie Maximilian, down the bottom right-hand side here. And you can see here, it's owner at the Body Transformation Studio, Burragoon, Western Australia. Laurie's full name. It's a believable testimonial, right? It's not Laurie and then no photo, nothing else. Okay. So this is really important that you get the specificity. Now, what we need when it's business to client, as it is in your example, it's going to be Jenny Smith, 37, a profession, like, I don't know, accountant, and lives in Heidelberg, New South Wales. Uh, and again, you could put in whether she's got kids or not, if your target market have children. Because again, the thing with the testimonials, we want someone to look at the person and go, oh, that is just like me. That's amazing. I want to lose 10.7 kilos. I'm 36. She's only 1 year older than me and she was able to do it. I work in finance and I've got children. So if it's specific or relevant to your target market, then put that in there. This comes back to point number one, right? Meaningful specifics. Jenny is then so much more believable. Now, you don't need to put Jenny's home address or phone number or anything like that, but we do need people to know that she's a real person, especially when it's a written testimonial. Obviously, video is much more believable, and that's why it is the best of the best. All right. Look, I hope that's helped you gather those testimonials. It's one of the most powerful marketing tools you can use, whether you're sharing on social media, which we should be regularly, certainly having online content so that if someone's looking at you and checking you out, they can actually see that you work with people just like them. You've got credibility, you've got trust. What others say about you is far more relevant than what you say about yourself. I'll speak to you soon.